think we're linking up. I'm starting to notice now I can go on my YouTube, I can see it. Let me see if it's on Facebook yet. Yeah. I wonder why it don't give you the ability to leave a hashtag for a number. You only leave a number in a hashtag, it won't give you the hashtag highlight. So it's like you got to put something in with the hashtag. I wonder why that is. It is what it is. But it's Friday. And boy, being that it is Friday, I don't know who that was who just gave me the peace sign, but I gave it back to him. I know who it is now. So yeah, it's Friday. And I'm not going to be real petty on this one, but I'm petty. You know, white folks is just, ooh, they something else in government right now. I mean, they not holding back, pulling no punches, standing on the government floors, talking that talk, spitting that spit, shitting that shit. I mean, this is some crazy shit. And I'm gonna play this shit now so I can get it all out the way. Hold on, Dilla. Let me play this shit now.
Appropriation based on population. That's how we pick. Everybody in here knows we've got 9. I hope I'm right. 9 state representatives.
You don't even know.
By limiting the number of population in the count, they specifically limited the number of representatives that would be available in the slave-holding states, and they did it for the purpose of ending slavery. Well before Abraham Lincoln. Well before Civil War. Do we talk about that? I don't hear that anywhere in this conversation across the country.
You don't hear about that anywhere, motherfucker, because it's a lie. And I don't know if anybody picked that up. If anybody's in this motherfucker with me, good morning to you. Welcome to the Hap Space. Welcome to YouTube, Facebook, wherever you picking this up at. I'm going to play it again. Because if you have not heard this foolishness, you deserve to hear it twice. Is it coming back? Oh, I didn't do the scroll thing. Hold on a second. Oh, boy. I tell you. They make it really difficult for you to just get, racism off.
Based on population. That's how we...
Sorry.
Appropriation based on population. That's how we pick. Everybody in here knows we've got 9, I hope I'm right, 9 state representatives. By limiting the number of population in the count, they specifically limited the number of representatives that would be available in the slave-holding states, and they did it for the purpose of ending slavery. Well before Abraham Lincoln. Well before Civil War. Do we talk about that? I don't hear that anywhere in this conversation across the country.
And you're not going to hear about that anywhere because it's a lie. That's not the reason why they wanted to look at black people as 3/5 of a person. That wasn't the 3/5 compromise. And I'm not a journalist. And I'm not a history teacher. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you something that people that are watching this know what the fuck the 3/5 compromise was about. And if you don't know, then I'm not even sure how you got here. I'm not sure how you got here. If you don't know what the 3/5 compromise is about, how did you get here? How did you find me? But you're here now. The biggest thing that they want to do right now is they want to try to erase 246 years of slavery. They want to erase it. It's not just about not wanting to give up reparations, because a lot of these motherfuckers ain't got shit to do with that. They're just racists who were elected and appointed to positions. They're nothing. They're less than nothing. They're peasants. That's why this is Petty Friday, powerful peasants, because they are powerful. The fact that they are Congress people, senators, state reps, hell, governors, all the way up to the presidents. They're peasants in the grand scheme of things. But they got some power. They got some power. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. I'm not concerned at all with anybody being misled by people like that. But then again, I am. I am sometimes like, do people not really understand this? But people know. You ain't never heard nobody talk about 3/5 of a human about anybody else. And if that was the case, they would have said it about other factions of people. They only said it about enslaved people, not marginalized people. How come people that had to deal with the Trail of Tears, how come they weren't marked as 3/5 human? How come the Hispanic people that were on this territory, how come they weren't marked as 3/5 human? Why were only black people marked as 3/5 human? Because they wanted us to count, but not really count. They wanted to count us, but not count us in. The fuck is he talking about? And yeah, they wanted to end slavery way before the Civil War, way before Abraham Lincoln. And why the fuck didn't you do it? See, they talk that dumb shit. This ain't about just switching the textbooks out. This ain't about getting rid of a few teachers. They're trying to erase history. And the way they're getting around a lot of shit right now with this whole 1619 thing, they can go right to, and I ain't heard nobody smart enough to do it, but I'm anticipating that somebody's going to come out there and do it. Maybe Tim Scott will do it. Maybe they'll put the nigger out there to do it. We need to stop talking about the 1619 project because we weren't even a country then. We weren't even a country in 1619. So they basically want to erase 157 years, and we only talk about shit from 1776 on. Fuck you. I don't care. I have no cares when it comes to bullshit like that. And that's just where I'm at with it. I have no problem with telling people, you're full of shit if you think that they're just pulling politics. No, they're trying to erase history. More and more people that come over to this, whoa, he almost got his ass knocked out by this Michigan power rodding truck. He almost got power rodded. I don't know what be on people's mind when they just get in lanes, get out and do all that kind of shit. And now he's going left. He might have had a couple cocktails this morning. Something. Come on over, power rodder. We open drains, others can't. Okay. He's about to open up the whole back end of that car where they swerved in front of you. So yeah, when you start talking about American history, they only want to talk about American history from 1776 on. Because it was no American history before that, according to them. The infrastructure of this country being built from 1619 up to 1776, they don't want to have nothing to do with that. Because we weren't America then. We weren't America. And I get it, but then again, I don't. All the shit that was put forth, if none of that really was legal, then why did you put it past 1776? All they did was took what they were doing before 1776, and legalized it. We became a country. we were just a riddled soil before. Black people were just getting beat here illegally. You didn't have a country. You didn't have a government. So whatever they said went. I'm sure that's why or where I'm white and I say so started from. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. But that's why we're in for this fight. They're trying to erase all of this shit. And pretty soon we're just going to be talking about what happened in Jim Crow and we're just having it here. No. We stick to the history. It's like this stupid ass Dane Calloway talking about Harriet Tubman is she's not real. She's a made up character in history. Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, all these people, these are made up figures in American history. They weren't real. Harriet Tubman didn't really run the Underground Railroad. She ran a railroad that was underground. Now he's saying she was a train conductor underground. What the fuck is wrong with people? And he's black. Well, he says he's an Indian, so I don't know. I don't know what he is. I don't know what Dane is. I don't know what Dane is. His name should be Dame, not Dane. Because he's a little girl. He's a little bitch. What's going on over at the big house today? Lots of cars over there. Lots of cars. So yeah, that was bad. That was horrible. But to have somebody stand up in the House floor speaking lies like that, that's one thing. But this here, and with no reprimand, I haven't heard shit from the Oval Office. I haven't heard shit from the Vice President's office. I've heard nothing from no one on any of this.
Being called Mr. Lynch might be a good thing for what I'm about to say. No, just kidding. Being called Mr. Lynch might be a good thing for what I'm about to say. No, just kidding.
Really? A Republican standing on the House floor talking about slavery right before he got started.
Being called Mr. Lynch might be a good thing for what I'm about to say. No, just kidding.
That was his opening line. That was his opening line. That was his startup for his stand-up routine. I can't believe that people can sit on their hands and not want to do something. And I don't give a fuck right now about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Because they want to work with people like this. They think people like this have a redeeming quality. They think they can reach across the aisle and work with people like this.
Being called Mr. Lynch might be a good thing for what I'm about to say. No, just kidding.
Lynch, good thing. All in the same sentence and a chuckle. That was the clean version of the joke. That was what he felt like was appropriate to be able to throw out on the House floor. In the same building that was taken over by what I would have to probably consider mostly Republicans. I don't think there are too many Democrats during the insurrection. I think that was mostly Republicans. Republicans might not want to say so. They'll say that they were strictly Trump supporters. Nah, motherfucker, those are your people. You own them. If we got to own the Black Lives Matter motherfuckers, you got to own the insurrection motherfuckers. Fuck that. Fuck that. No kickback from the president. No kickback from the vice president. No kickback from the Biden administration at all. This is public shit. I wouldn't have it. Who the fuck am I? I taped it off somebody else's shit. But the government don't give a fuck about black people. When you talk about lynching, you're not talking about Mexicans. You're not talking about Asians. You're talking about black people. Show me the last white person that got lynched in this fucking country. I want to see the last white person that got lynched and had black people standing around while they strung him up. It ain't out there. That footage ain't been released yet because it ain't been filmed yet. But you motherfuckers want to sit around and wait for what? Wait for him to give out every motherfucking resource, every tangible situation, and do what? Do what with it? The Democrats are going to lose everything by 2024. There's no doubt in my mind. They're going to lose everything. The House, the Senate, and the White House. He's out here taking care of people that didn't even vote for him. So what does he think is going to happen in 2024 if he is able to stagger up to the podium and say he's going to run again? Or if Kamala decides that she's going to try to run for president again? There ain't going to be nothing left in the cupboards for the Democrats. And all the Republicans are doing is just staying on code, just staying aligned, just staying white supremacist. They're not doing anything special. They're just remaining white supremacists. They're like, fuck it. We don't even have to do anything special. They're fucking themselves. Black people voted him in, and he's not doing anything for black people. So we can beat that shit to death. But they're really not doing themselves a service either by letting their people get on the floor, Senate floor, the House floor, whatever floor, it don't matter, and speak that crazy shit. I mean, that's crazy shit. They were going to stop slavery with the Three-Fifths Compromise before Abraham Lincoln, before the Civil War. And then making jokes about lynching. This was all the same fucking day, man. This is all the same fucking day. The same day. The very same day. If this is where we want to be, I appreciate you, JP. Thanks for stepping in the space. Thanks for subscribing to the Have Space. Please subscribe. Please share the video.
Being called Mr. Lynch might be a good thing for what I'm about to say. No, just kidding.
I mean, it just sounds like a struggling comedian looking for an open line. And he thought it was funny to talk about lynching. There's nothing comical about lynching. Name one funny thing about a black man, black woman, black child being strung up. I don't get it. And nobody wants to look at this for what it is. Nobody wants to look at this for what it is. You got teachers out here telling black kids to go home with an assignment to imagine what it's like to be a slave. Let's talk about the positive aspects of slavery. They're sending kids home with assignments like this. The positive aspects of slavery. You send a 13-year-old home with that. Nobody's talking about that shit. Nobody deems that as important. Okay. But there's some more powerful peasants we're going to talk about in the next clip. Those two, they're bottom feeders of powerful peasants. We'll talk about some people that more people are talking about out here. We'll talk about some celebrities. We'll talk about some athletes. More on the lines of what a lot of people like to talk about. Personally, doesn't really matter to me as to who we talk about, as long as we're talking about it collectively, as long as we're in the same we're in the same frame. Now, I've had to shut a few people down about the Serena Williams thing. I wasn't throwing shade at Serena Williams. I said that in the video yesterday. I said it in the post. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. I'm not angry at Serena. I'm angry at white supremacy. I'm always angry at white supremacy. But I'm not angry at Serena. She's a victim. They rode her into submission. They made her give up. That's why I'm upset. But we have to fight white supremacy. I can't fight Serena. She's got enough to fight. She don't need a brother to fight. You know, people made excuses and said, well, you know, people called her a man. People called her this. Okay. But that wasn't us. I know there was a few people out here that had transgressive shit to say about Serena, but most people that I fuck with, shit, we ain't never called Serena no man. We ain't never looked at her as no man. And I said that motherfucker said shit like that. They don't like black women. A motherfucker say some shit like that about Serena Williams. You know, Serena Williams ain't no fucking man. You just don't like black women. Just say you don't like black women. Or maybe you just don't like women. Because she personifies a woman all day. And her skin color was always, I mean, it was power. I never heard anybody talk about her skin color being detrimental. But she's looking for acceptance. She's got access. She's looking for acceptance now. It's different. But it is what it is. Much love to anybody in the half space, whether you catch us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope. There was something else that popped up, and I don't know if it's a new app. I'm going to see if they're going to get that one too. I guess I'm a part of that. Somebody told me that I could turn this into an MP4 and put it through the iTunes shit. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me right now. This is enough channels for me to work on. I don't even have time to edit videos and do all the shit that I really need to be doing and pushing this really even further, but we'll get there. My brother said, you hit the nail. You hit the nail with motherfuckers ain't shit. I did a video yesterday called Motherfuckers Ain't Shit because it's real. They can find 8 motherfuckers like clockwork every time somebody dies to put him into the ground, to be a pallbearer, to lower him into the ground, to come out and support your brother, lower him into the ground. When that brother was around and he was trying to start a business, where was them 8 motherfuckers? He couldn't get them 8 motherfuckers to call him back for shit. But when he called them to lower him into the ground, they showed up for his funeral like clockwork. And then they got to eat first. The pallbearers get to eat right after the family and shit. You ever notice that? If you carry the casket, you get fried chicken and butter biscuits right along with the family after the service at the repast. I guess it pays to be a pallbearer. You get the hot biscuits. Fuck out of here. If you can't support me and mine when I'm here in this bitch, don't come to the funeral. As a matter of fact, Ray, if she's still watching, I want to be cremated. I want to be cremated. Give a few of my ashes to the kids and the grandkids. If they don't want them, they can throw them somewhere. They can throw them away. Don't have no motherfucking service where I got to have a casket get carried up out that bitch. No. Put me in an urn, goddammit. Let me be in a motherfucking base of a lamp. I don't give a fuck. Don't have no raggedy motherfucker carrying me up out the church. Because 9 times out of 10, that motherfucker didn't support me one bit. Don't go looking for a motherfucker to carry me up out the church. How about that? Leave me the fuck alone. Just like you let me alone when I was breathing, leave me alone in my death. You better cremate me and put me in an urn. You put me in a casket and they walking me down the aisle, I'm going to get the kicking in that bitch. I'm going to let you know that now. I'm going to get the kicking in that motherfucker. How about that? All right, I got to pee, then flee. And I'll get back on here with some more pettiness for Friday. And it'll be a little bit more petty. Maybe it'll be a little lighter. Not light like Serena, but it'll be light. Appreciate you again, Ray. Appreciate you. I will stay safe. When I encounter a foreign individual, I will stay masked up. I know we safe and good and all that, but we got to stay protected. I want nobody's Rona to still hit. No, don't hit my lips. Nope. I wonder if LL Cool J caught COVID. Now he licks his lips all the time. He licks his lips and didn't wear a mask, and somebody had Rona. He could have caught that shit. He licks his lips a lot. It's always made me uncomfortable the way he licks his lips. But you do what you do, dog. That's how he got his bread. That was one of his traits. Besides his can goal, it was his lip licking. So it is what it is. But y'all be good. Everybody in the half space that I can see, be good out here. And we'll be petty soon enough. One love.